Welcome to Roofing Road Trips with Heidi. Explore the roofing industry through the eyes of a long-term professional within the trade. Listen for insights, interviews, and exciting news in the roofing industry today.
Hello and welcome to Roofing Road Trips from Roofers Coffee Shop. This is Heidi Ellsworth, and this is a live, not only podcast, but video cast with my dear friend, Chuck Chapman. Chuck, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Heidi. How are you?
I am great. We're here to talk about one of our favorite subjects, Davis.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about something way more interesting.
No, we want to talk about Davis Memorial Foundation. When you asked me to be a part of this organization, to be a trustee, I think, and Bill was there, it was like, this has just been the best.
Yeah, it really is. And I remember that day when I asked you, I think we were at some convention somewhere, but it really is a lot of fun. And I think that it is very rewarding, but fun at the same time, which is kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yes, that's the thing. Giving back is always rewarding. And so I want to talk about what's coming up because we got all of our fun stuff coming up in the fall. We just had our scholarship winners, everything. But before we do that, could you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you and your company.
My name is Chuck Chapman, as you shared with everyone. I work for Tech America in Phoenix, Arizona. I have been with the company for about 18 years now, but I've been roofing for 41 years. I used to have hair before I started, so that is definitely showing my age. But it's been a very, very rewarding career for me. I love the industry, and I love giving back to the industry, most importantly. And that's why I'm doing all the work and have been doing all the work with Davis.
Yeah.
Really want to be able to make it possible for other people to, enjoy the industry the way that I have over the last 41 years.
It really is such an amazing industry. And when we are able to get it in front of the next generation and also just overall the society, I guess, it's pretty cool. So tell everyone about the Davis Memorial Foundation and how is it connected to Western States?
Well, way back when in 1996, the Davis Foundation was formed by the Western States Roofing Contractors Association. The association wanted to give back, and the best way they could do that was to form a 501c3 that they called the Davis Memorial Foundation. It was named after Larry and Mary Davis. Larry was a board member and unfortunately passed away in a small plane crash on the way home from a Western States meeting. So they decided to honor the Davises by naming the foundation after Larry and Mary. The foundation was incorporated in 1997, so technically that's when it became official. And since then, we've given out 170 scholarships, totaling over $750,000.
Wow.
This past year, we gave out 10 more, $5,000 each. And I've lost track how many years in a row we've been giving out $50,000, but it's been 4 or 5 years now for sure that we've been doing $50,000.
I think it was since our 20th year. Yeah,
exactly. And we're coming up on 27 now. So it's pretty cool.
It is, is so focused too on those scholarships, which I just think is great because sometimes I think things get a little diluted where we keep it this is what it's about, this next generation of young people coming in and how are we going to help them, and not always coming into roofing, but overall supporting the young people of the industry. So let's talk just a little bit about that. How do we, I know these things, so I'm asking you, but how do we pick the students for the scholarships?
Well, the applications come out usually right around the first of the year. We advertise pretty thoroughly throughout the entire Western region through various different publications and, email blasts and blogs and all kinds of things. And we usually get a very good response. I think one year we had about 140 applications.
Yeah.
something along those lines, which, as you know, as a trustee, was a little tough for us because we actually have to review every single application. So
Yeah.
going through 140 applications was a little tough, but it was incredibly rewarding because, as we've talked many times, seeing and learning about 140 young people is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The things that they've accomplished, the things that they want to accomplish in their future. It's just, I'm telling you, just when you think we're in trouble, you get to read all these applications, and it really, really is a pretty cool thing. This past year, I think we had about 67 applications, but all the applications are online. So if anybody in the future is interested in applying for the scholarship, just kind of start looking for it in January. They can also go on the Western States or the Davis website and look up the applications, fill them out, and submit it. They're usually due by about the third week in April. And then we usually take a month to review all the applications and then make the award typically by the end of May. Get back to the winners and invite them to come and be present, if they can, schedule permitting, in September at the convention.
Yeah. And one of the things I love, and we just started this a couple years ago, but as a trustee, we each take one or two and we call them and let them know that they've won. And to me, that is just so cool. They're so excited when they get this phone call and that they've won. And I know how important it is because we've talked to so many of these young people. And I will say Megan Ellsworth was a recipient, and it makes such a huge difference. It makes a huge difference to those students and getting through college. And let's talk just a little bit. I mean, we really look at they need to be associated with someone in the industry. So, it can be they work for somebody in roofing, their mom and dad, their aunt and uncle, whatever. But then they also have to live in the Western States.
Yes. Because we are the Western States Roofing Contractors Association, and Davis is operates under the auspices of WSRCA, we want them to be, in our region.
Right.
As you said, we also want them to be affiliated with the roofing industry. And then, after that, it's pretty much, as we see. I mean, a lot of times, there's need that's figured into that, and but it's really based on the character of the individual, and sometimes grades are important, but it's really an overall review of the individual as a person, and that's what's kind of fun, is you really get to know these people because they do provide a lot of information in the application. So it's a really good getting to know them type of a learning experience.
Yeah, and we have all different types of majors, but we did have a lot of construction management this year, which always gets me excited.
Yeah, and we also want to make sure that people that are going to VOTEC, you can apply. We want you to apply. VOTECs are also included. So whether it's, a university, a college, a community college, or VOTEC, we definitely want VOTEC too. And we've had VOTEC applications and VOTEC winners in the past, but we really want to get the word out that, hey, it's not just limited to universities and colleges. We definitely want VOTEC people in there as well. So, if you're contemplating a VOTEC or are going to VOTEC and need some financial assistance, hey, go for it.
Well, you already know the story, but one of my favorite stories is a couple years back when we were able to give a scholarship to a young lady who was going into welding. And she's a welder, and she came with her grandpa. So her grandpa was there at the Western States show, saw her up on the stage, made me teary. I was like, wow, this is just, it's such an influence. What was when you look back, Chuck, who are some of your favorite, as you look at the different recipients?
It's kind of hard to put my finger on exactly any one favorite. I think I love them all.
Yeah.
They are all so grateful. And I think that's the thing that never ceases to surprise me, is that every single person that gets one Even though they might or might not be able to attend in person, they are also grateful. Like you said, when we make the phone call to tell them that they have won, the real emotion that is involved when we tell them that they have won, because $5,000 is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a huge deal.
Having a daughter of my own that's getting ready to go to college this fall, knowing what that costs, that $5,000 is a big deal.
Yeah.
So, seeing all of them up there, and there's been so many. The welder, she was a treat. Some of the people are much more gregarious and outgoing. I remember a couple of the young guys, they show up with their various different styles of the day, which is a little different than ours, but they're all entertaining in their own way. Even the quiet ones, they kind of come out of their shell when they got up there on stage, because they're kind of overcome with the emotion. So I really enjoy spending time with all of them.
Yeah, I do too. And, I look at it too. We have had a number of recipients who are now in the roofing industry.
Right.
Now, I know sometimes that's because they kind of grew up in the roofing industry, but they also didn't always have a construction management degree. I can think of a number of them. I mean, I'll just say again, Megan Ellsworth is one of them. She's very much in the roofing industry, and she had a music degree. So, and she's working every day in the roofing industry, and we're seeing this across the board with a lot of the recipients. And so I think really this gets the word out that roofing is cool. That it's not, they don't think of that, but it really is. And by getting that scholarship, no matter what they're majoring in, they still have that in the back of their head, like, hey, the roofing industry helped me get here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think education of any level, regardless of what the function or whatever the major might be, you're still gaining an education, and the fact that you are performing or learning something and making a commitment and completing that commitment, you're learning something out of it. And those traits are very valuable in our industry. We want people that are loyal. We want people that are responsible. We want people that, really commit to seeing tasks through, whether it's in the roofing industry or any other industry. That education is extremely valuable. And I know my degree isn't in roofing because we didn't have a roofing program back then.
No.
We're lucky we had schools back then. But it's really, really valuable to help these folks along and be able to gain that education. And especially when they're affiliated with other people in the industry, the odds are pretty good that they're going to end up coming back to us at some point in time.
And that's what we've been seeing. So let's talk a little bit about how we raise all this money for these scholarships. 10 scholarships this year. So talk a little bit about what we have coming up in September during the Western States Roofing Contractors Association show, Western Roofing Expo. We have all kinds of events. So tell everybody about that.
Well, we have the WSRCA convention, Western Roofing Expo, coming up in Las Vegas, starting on Saturday, September the 23rd. That's kind of the Davis Day. We have the Shooting Clays tournament and the golf tournament, both on Saturday morning. And then we have the live auction on Sunday night. Now, we also have the silent auction portion of that goes live on September the 1st. Now, if you want the link to be able to get to the silent auction, you can go to the Davis website or you can go to the Western States website, and you can get the link to go to the silent auction. The items in the silent auction will be available to start bidding on those on September the 1st. And then they will close, I believe, the last day of the show, which is on Monday, September the 25th. But the live auction and welcoming event is Saturday night at the Paris in Las Vegas. We'd love to have you attend. We usually have about 15 or so items that go up for auction there. Bill Bailey, another one of our trustees. And this year we've added a third entertainer for your auction pleasure, and that's Mr. Greg Bloom. who's another
Great
one of our
group.
trustees. And the three of us will be doing the live auction event in Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
come on out. And if you can't make it to Vegas, we'll at least log on to the website and bid on some of the silent items.
I have to tell you, it's so much fun. I love the auction. We see it. I love walking the show floor and encouraging people to bid and to call, be a caller or whatever they're called. But this is a fun event, and people really get into it. I mean, they really support the auction, but they also really support the clays and the golf too. I mean, we've been sold out,
Right.
and we're seeing a lot of things. Right now, we are looking for donations for the golf tournament, donations for the clays, swag bag stuff, fun things, and then always auction items.
Yes, absolutely. Right now, we have a big push for folks to donate auction items as well as some raffle prizes for the golf tournament and the shooting clays. We're doing fairly well, but we could always use more. If you're interested in donating, you can contact the Western States office, or you can just send me a note, which I'd be very happy to. And by the way, my email is cchapman@tectaamerica.com. So if you can't get any help from anybody else, just get a hold of me and I'll get you hooked up.
Yeah.
But we are looking for donations at this point, and we'd be very happy to take everything and anything you could possibly donate.
You know what? And it's when we call people who I've been calling people, you've been calling people, they give. And they just are, it's great for your marketing program. You get in front of a lot of different people. It's very good. And it's great just to give back and help with all these scholarships and with the students. So, okay. So what are our goals this year? What are we looking at? I mean, I know last year we raised, it was over 60,000. Is that right?
Yeah, we would like to be able to raise more than that, because if we can raise more money, then we can give out some more scholarships, which we haven't done that in the last couple of years. So it would be nice to be able to bump that number from 10 to 12 or 10 to 15. So we could use your help to help get us there by registering for the shooting clays tournament, registering for the golf tournament, donating to the auction, showing up in person and spending money at the auction. Any and all of those things would really, really help us achieve our goals. So if we can raise over, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, then we can give those all back in scholarship, because we're not keeping any of it. We want to give it away.
Yeah.
So, the more we can make, the more we can give away.
I love it. I love it. Well, you can also find all this information on Roofer's Coffee Shop. On the Davis Foundation has its own directory where you can get all this information, find out where to bid on the silent auction, where to donate, all that good stuff. And then also the Western States has its full directory too. So all this information is out there. You can find us, like Chuck said, email Chuck, you can email me. We will get you going. And it's really something that I'm telling you right now, it's one of the best events of the industry. I'm prejudiced, but I'm just saying it is. It's really great.
A lot of fun.
So I know, a lot of fun.
And we also have the Western theme again this year. Last year we did it. It was a great, great turnout. People getting dressed up in old Western gear. I'll tell you, there was some people that it's like, okay, this dude's a real cowboy.
Yeah.
So we're doing it again. So there is a costume contest. So if you like to dress up in the Western theme, please show up, and you could be one of the lucky winners of the costume contest. We will obviously be dressed up on stage as well. I must admit, I've got some pretty good gear myself. I'm not eligible to win, so don't worry about that. But we do like to get a little fun up on stage, and we do like to get a little dressed up. And come on out, and it's a great way to start off the expo.
Yeah, it is great. And between the golf, the clays, and then the auction, great Saturday. We used to call it Fun Day Sunday, but now it's Fun Day Saturday. So
we're doing change, but we're still going to do it on Saturday. We're still going to have just as much fun.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be great. And hopefully not quite as hot by the end of September. We'll see.
Usually not.
God. Well, Chuck, thank you so much. This is always such a delight. Thank you for, I love being a trustee on Davis and love getting the word out on this. And thank you for everything you do for the industry. It's so appreciated.
Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it. Appreciate everything you do as well. And really appreciate Roofer Coffee Shop for supporting us.
Always. And we will. So Chuck, I will be seeing you online as we get ready for the big event and seeing you in Vegas at the end of September, hoping to see all of you in Vegas for the Western States Roofing Expo, and all of the fun Davis events. As I said, get all that information on the Western States or the Davis directories on Roofers Coffee Shop, or on Metal Coffee Shop or Coatings Coffee Shop, and be sure to listen to all of the podcasts. You can find this both on your favorite podcast channel, also on YouTube, and of course on our website at Roofers Coffee Shop. Join us, subscribe, set those notifications so you don't miss a single episode, and we'll be seeing you next time on Roofing Road Trips.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a review. Thanks for listening. This has been Roofing Road Trips with Heidi from therooferscoffeeshop.com.